From Lego defying gravity to a fully working Rubik's Cube, here are 999 IQ Lego sets that you need to check out. Starting things off with this tiny yet brilliant feature that's appeared in several sets, the fishbowl. This piece has made notable appearances in the Sesame Street, Cinderella Castle, and Seinfeld sets. And at first glance, you might not realize it, but this fishbowl is actually just a clear minifigure head with a special print on it. This means with just one headpiece, you can transform almost any minifigure into a walking, talking fish. I mean, how cool is that? Moving on, let's talk about Poe Dameron's X-Wing fighter. With only 72 pieces, this polybag set might seem pretty basic, but if you look closely at the back of the ship, you'll notice something special. The engines are the same bright orange as the body, and instead of creating a new piece for this smaller set, the designer Henrik Anderson used the existing Lego carrot piece. I mean, it's the perfect size, shape, and color, making for a unique carrot-powered X-Wing. And on the topic of carrots, Lego has a knack for using food pieces in unexpected ways. For instance, the Lego coin piggy bank from 2015. This functional piggy bank features 148 parts with an adorable face with very expressive hot dog eyebrows. Take a closer look at those eyebrows because you'll notice they're ironically hot dogs on a pig set. Kind of funny. And speaking of hot dogs, they have appeared in other sets too. Take the Wildflower Bouquet set, a vibrant collection with 939 pieces. Deep within this set, you'll find green hot dogs used as flower stems. While the thought of a bright green sausage might be unappetizing and make you think of Shrek, it works perfectly here. This set also includes unique parts like bright blue and green crowns, flame yellow and violet petals, and pink and purple admirals hats. The botanical sets showcase just how versatile Lego pieces can be, and just look at all the different pieces they can use. Sometimes though, Lego's creativity lies in repurposing pieces in new ways. In the Pizza Van and Heart Lake Shopping Mall sets, minifigures enjoy crispy fries. But since Lego has never made an official fries piece, they used a simple yellow crystal instead. It looks the part, though it might not be the best choice for your teeth. That was a bad joke, I know. One of my favorite details, though, is in the 2021 police station set. The stonework along the roof uses wolf headpieces from the Lego Minecraft sets, turned upside down to create a unique masonry look. The set also features clever piece usage for the bushes out front. By stacking offset dark green pieces or paint splatter pieces, you get incredible potted plants perfect for minifigure scale. Lego's Winter Village sets are beloved for capturing the holiday spirit with creativity. The 2010 Winter Village Bakery set with 687 pieces includes a bakery, ice skating rink, ticket counter, horse-drawn carriage, and 7 minifigures. The Christmas lights in this set are simple but effective, made with rope, clips, and transparent studs. A similar design appears in the Elf Clubhouse set from 2020, but with holders and globes instead of clips and studs, giving it a slightly different look. Still pretty interesting. And the Lego Bonsai Tree and Ship in a Bottle sets are fantastic display pieces with a unique building step. At one point, you're asked to use a few hundred pieces to actually build the set, which might seem daunting, but it's actually just dumping a bag of studs in place. Now, these might be some of Lego's most piece-intensive steps, but they're also among the easiest. I mean, you're quite literally putting your hand in a bag, grabbing all the pieces, and just dumping it in a bottle that you built. The Lego Globe set is another standout, both functional and technical. Designing a spherical Lego set is of course no easy task, but designer Samuel Johnson managed it by turning the sphere into a series of flat segments to be folded together, like peeling an orange in reverse. So this build includes an unexpected addition, a set of wheels used as extra weight to keep the globe resting in the perfect display position. Seriously, I don't know how this dude thought to use wheels. Moving on though, we got the 2021 Medieval Blacksmith. This set makes a heavy use of angled tile pieces to create what might be the best looking roof Lego has ever produced. While this technique isn't as groundbreaking as some of the other ones, the result is still stunning nonetheless. And it's pretty creative too. But next, let's talk about the Garmadon's Dark Fortress from Ninjago, one of my all-time favorite sets. The skeleton-themed spider attached to the fortress isn't just a decoration. Using a simple yet clever technique, pressing a red button on the back launches the spider off the fortress wall, surprising any approaching ninja. The set also includes a coffin that pops open to reveal a skeleton, adding to the spooky play features. Regardless though, it's pretty cool and creative how they just managed to make this giant spider just fly at you. And right here, we've got the 2012 Monster Fighters theme, particularly the Vampire Castle set. This set, with 949 pieces and 7 minifigures, is packed with spooky details you'd expect to find in any creepy old castle. Although the organ upstairs looks really cool, the real highlights here are the intense play features that the set comes with. For instance, the dangerous spikes at the front gate are designed to impale unsuspecting minifigures. The most gruesome feature is the spike spiked pit at the bottom of one of the towers. Made up of a single 4x4 round brick and 12 white talons, this pit is straight out of a horror movie. And above it is a small stand holding a treasure map, making it a treacherous trap for anyone attempting to steal Lord Vampire's treasure. All you gotta do is just pull a black cone piece and the minifigure plummets into the spikes. Yikes. But it is pretty creative. Also, by the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Subscribe right now. Ninjago sets are known for their playability, and the Epic Dragon Battle set from 2012 is no exception. This set comes with two impressive beasts, but the standout feature is the Great Devourer Serpent. Open its mouth and you'll see it's the perfect size for a minifigure. Kind of interesting, right? Well, this serpent can actually swallow an unsuspecting ninja whole. It's kind of crazy how they made a dragon, minifigure size for his mouth. You get what I'm saying. A similar play feature, though, can be found in the 2016 Carbon Freezing Chamber set. This build is a great recreation of the iconic scene from Star Wars. Place Han Solo on the stand, turn the dial, and watch as he disappears only to reappear frozen in carbonite and ready for transport by everybody's favorite bounty hunter, Boba Fett. It's kind of similar how this feature was used multiple times, similar ways. Let's not talk about Professor Snape, the best character from Harry Potter. This iconic character has appeared in no fewer than 15 LEGO sets over the years and has undergone some significant changes. In the early 2000s, Snape had a glow-in-the-dark head and a unique trait for minifigures at the time. This version of Snape appeared in 4 earlier Harry Potter sets, including Snape's Classroom and the first version of Hogwarts Castle. While it is a bit strange, the glow-in-the-dark head matched his pale on-screen appearance quite well. But by 2007, LEGO decided to do away with this feature, possibly due to confusion or cut costs or whatever it may be. And nowadays, Snape blends in with the rest of the minifigures. But which version of Snape do you like the most, and which one do you think was the most creative? I mean, one of the strangest villains ever to appear in a LEGO set is Batman's lesser-known nemesis, the Condiment King. I'm gonna say that again, the Condiment King. The Egghead mech food fight set from the LEGO Batman movie line features the Condiment King armed with stud shooters representing ketchup and mustard. Although it is a humorous play feature, I'm not sure how effective mustard would be against Batman. I don't know. A unique play feature, though, does come from the 2010 Dropshit set from the Hero Factory line. While the Hero Factory sets aren't as hyped as many others, this set does something really cool. The dropship can attach to and carry the plastic cases the figures come in, allowing for you to drop your heroes into battle whenever you want. It's a very innovative feature that I haven't seen in any other set yet, so if I missed anything, just let me know in the comments. The LEGO movies gave us some incredible sets packed with big brain features, but one that stands out is the Shimmer and Shine Sparkle Spa set. This set might look bland at first, but it is designed entirely around play. On the far left, there is the revolving wall that allows Balthazar to instantly transform into his batsuit. And the weirdest feature, though, it's on the far right, a hot tub. Nothing unusual about that, right? Well, there is a clear lever that, when pulled, flushes whoever it is in the hot tub out. Pretty strange, but I guess it's quite amusing. And speaking of flushing, the Ninjago City Market set features a sushi bar with a working toilet. Flush it, and anything left inside is dumped right into the river below. Not exactly eco-friendly, I guess you could say, but it is a neat feature and pretty fun to fidget around with. I mean, if you're bored, you just play around with this thing. Kind of fun. Next up, however, we have the Spider-Man Web Warriors Ultimate Bridge Battle Set. Wow, that's a long name. On one end of the bridge, there is a small green trash can sitting on top of a catapult. And with a flick, you can just launch the trash can into the middle of the battle, making a mess if it's full. So make sure to fill up the trash can. But one of the most unique and creative play features comes from the 2014 Creator Rainforest Animal set. The main build is a parrot, a frog, and a fly, but the parrot can eat small pellets. Lift up its tail and the pellets come falling out the bottom. It's anatomically correct, though a bit gross. I mean, you have a pooping parrot, but you get it. The Jurassic Park Triceratops research set from 2023 features a massive brick-built pile of dinosaur droppings. Why? Bro, what is the obsession with one of the minifigures comes with a shovel to dig through the droppings and find the cause of the Triceratops' illness, poisonous berries. It's a bit gross, again, but fun in detail, I guess. But all right. The grossest play feature, though, comes from the Paranormal Intercept bus from the Hidden Side series. This set includes a porta potty that transforms into a monster. And guess what? It shoots brown 2x2 tiles. Well, representing, we're not talking about anymore. Let's just move on. Let's just talk about the A-frame cabin set. At first glance, this charming build seems straightforward, but it's packed with some fascinating secrets. It's full of incredible details like a spider hiding in the attic, 21 karat stems in the trees to represent bare branches, and a minimal yet genius outdoor shower. But the real surprise lies in the stones on the front of the cabin. Believe it or not, those stones are actually made from 18 Thor hammer pieces. Yeah, they're made from 18 different Thor hammers. It seems like LEGO has a knack for incorporating powerful weapons into their sets in subtle ways, I guess. Speaking of hidden weapons though, LEGO has been sneaking plastic blasters into various sets for years, not just in Marvel and Star Wars sets. Take the Indiana Jones River Chase set from 2008 for example. While the machine gun up front is obvious, the gas can on the back of the trunk has a handle made from a revolver piece. Mixing a gun with gasoline might not be the best idea, but then again, I'm not Indiana Jones. And no, it's not just Indiana Jones sets with these hidden little surprises. The Penguin Arctic roller set from the LEGO Batman movie has some sneaky design choices as well. If you take a closer look at the exhaust pipes under the front fender, you'll see that each one is a gun. Plus, the fish missiles on either side of the car are a fun touch that adds to the set's charm as well. So you know what? Hats off to that. Moving on to the massive Daily Bugle set, one of the largest LEGO Marvel sets on the market. It's packed with a bunch of Easter eggs for fans. And I mean a bunch. The set has been well documented and discussed, of course, but there is one small detail that often can get overlooked: the taxi. In a 2-foot tall set with 25 minifigures, the small yellow cab might not be the highlight for most people. However, the exhaust port on this car is actually a gun piece. Again, a gun piece. And yet another hidden gem in this build is the bird's nest resting comfortably on an air conditioner near the top. The nest is made from a part that first appeared on the Kraven the Hunter minifigure in the Spider-Man Web Warriors Ultimate Bridge battle set, as I mentioned earlier. This fur collar piece has since been used as a bird's nest in 3 other sets: the Daily Bugle, the Bookshop, and the Harry Potter Newt's Case of Magical Creatures. So basically, what I'm trying to say is Kraven the Hunter's, neck piece is just really a bird's nest now. Now, the LEGO City sets might be smaller and simpler, but they still have some incredible design choices. Take the Mobile Police Dog training set, for example. The policeman in the training suit has arms that might look familiar. They're the exact same arms, actually, as the Cactus Girl from the collectible minifigure series 18, just in a different color to represent the bite suit for the dog trainer. That's honestly really creative from LEGO. I mean, that's really smart. That's like 1,000 IQ. The LEGO Ninjago Green Energy Dragon set also features some unique parts. Underneath the saddle, there are 2 large black pieces that don't look like typical LEGO bricks. Well, that's because they're actually LEGO Big Fig arms, the same kind used in the Gorilla Grodd Goes Banana set as the titular character's arms. Speaking of cars though, the Ferrari F8 Tribito set has a clever use of stud shooters as tailpipes. And these bad boys can actually shoot studs too, making the sports car even more impressive for a LEGO set. But let's move on to another vehicle with a neat trick, and that's the LEGO Ducati set. The windshield is a unique transparent light plastic piece that doesn't hold its own shape, so the set uses 2 round katanas to keep it in place. Kinda interesting with that one. But next up is the Paranormal Intercept bus from the Hidden Side theme. This bus has paint rollers holding up the side mirrors and a golden unicorn horn for a hood ornament. Paint rollers also appear in the app control transformation vehicle set as it controls the cockpit. And look, these sets just show you how versatile LEGO pieces can really be. Santa's Visit from 2021 is another great addition to the Winter Village line. These sets always come with great details and genius part usage. Nearly all of the greenery around the windows on this house is made up from green claw pieces found on minifigures like Wolverine and various Ninjago characters. The set also includes a trumpet under the tree, which, while not exactly to scale, it's a neat little construction. So, do you remember the red and green hot dogs that I discussed earlier? Well, the Jazz Club set uses yellow sausages as part of the sign, while the Bookshop set features black sausages around the base of the trees. I don't get what the obsession is. I guess they're just trying to save costs. The Crocodile Locomotive set also uses these pieces on the front and back of the train. But another clever part usage in the Crocodile Locomotive set is also the red whip pieces used as cables. These red whips, though, are quite rare, appearing in only 4 sets, including the Razor Crest and the Ninjago City Garden set. But it's pretty interesting how they have 2 little cool techniques going on with this one. Now, the Lady Liberty Brickhead set uses a lipstick piece to attach the golden flame to her iconic torch, showing that even a statue can look glamorous. The Ray the Castaway set features an SOS sign made up with snake heads, adding a wild touch to the deserted island scene. And the Grand Emporium set from 2010 uses minifigure capes and a bendy Technic tube to create curtains for a changing room. I mean, that's a unique and practical solution. So yeah, I don't know what's what's going on with snakes, but the curtain changing room thing, that's kind of smart. I like that one. Now, this one is something I remember growing up with. Lego Mixels, especially the Glorp Corp, use a slimy and translucent pieces in creative ways. Characters like Torts, Glomp, and Ribble featured pieces representing slime, drool, and snot, respectively. While it might be a bit gross, sure, it's also genius in its execution, and it looks really good. Like, it's pretty creative. Up next, the office set includes a globe in Michael's office that looks like a detailed minifigure head. Now, despite having an actual globe piece out there, Lego opted for this smaller, more fitting scale. The Lego designers' ingenuity never ceases to amaze me, or I guess anyone else, with their clever part usage found in every corner of their sets. Again, I'm not sure why they didn't just use the globe piece and they had to use a minifigure head with the print on it, but I mean, I guess there's a reason behind it, right? Let's move on though with the Speed Champions McLaren Elva set from 2021. This 263-piece set boasts a sleek design, but the most interesting detail is actually hidden at the back. In step 26 of the instructions, you'll find that the tail lights are created using translucent red ox heads, or axe? Ox? Maybe I'm saying that wrong, but I mean, look at this. This is pretty interesting how they use that with the car. But the McLaren Elva isn't the only Speed Champion set with hidden blades. One of my favorite cars, the Koenigsegg Jesko set, also features some clever weaponry. In step 53, you'll find a slime green minifigure cleaver, which is quite an unusual and rare color for this piece. And of course, look, like I said, Lego has a long history of sneaking weapons into their car builds. I'm not sure why, but they just do. So take a look at another Ferrari set, the Ferrari F40 Creator set from 2015. And I mean, look, the F40 is a really, it's a classic car. But the engine block of this set includes 4 Lego revolver pieces on each side, making it, one pretty powerful engine. But clever part usage isn't limited to just supercars, because let's check out Ninjago's Thunder Raider set. In steps 44 and 45, you'll find 4 transparent blue popsicle pieces, giving the engine a fantastic sci-fi look. I mean, again, your engine is literally running on blue popsicle pieces. I'm not sure what else to say. Now, the Crystal King from Ninjago is another character full of clever tricks. If you look closely at his face, you'll see his eyes are pink cow horns, and he has a black sausage for his unibrow. Now, what does this remind me of? Oh, right, the Lego piggy bank with the hot dog eyebrows. Again, with the sausage use, Lego, I don't know why you keep doing it. And if you're enjoying these clever Lego details, again, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications too, and even share the video with a friend if you think they'll enjoy it. But now, let's talk about the popular Lego Friends theme, because they've been quietly doing some amazing things with their sets. For example, the Botanical Garden set is a prime example, featuring sand green claws as bushes, a broom and horn as a flower petal, and of course a red hedgehog shoulders as a spiky plant. A red hedgehog is a plant. I guess it works. And with this thing right here, green minifigure paint palettes are used as lily pads actually, and eggshells serve as flowers. The mini bonsai tree even includes pink frogs as flowers, mimicking the larger Lego bonsai set perfectly. And in front of Emma's art school, there is also a bush made from a dyed green minifigure afro. Simple yet brilliant, I guess. So no clown or no afro, just a green bush. And next up, let's look at the iconic Mickey and Minnie Mouse set from 2020. From 2020. I don't know why I said it like that. This 1,739 piece set is a must-have for any cartoon collector. While the build is straightforward, there is one clever detail: the noses. Both Mickey and Minnie's noses are actually blank black minifigure heads with the black minifigure space helmets on top of them. And look, minifigure heads are actually incredibly versatile and have been used for everything from light bulbs to fish bowls. We've covered some of it already. But one standout use is the transparent blue Minecraft Steve head, which has only appeared in 3 sets: Captain Carter and the Hydra Stomper and the Sanctum Sanctorum, each time representing the Tesseract. So Steve from Minecraft, his head is just painted blue and it represents the Tesseract from Marvel. Kind of interesting. Moving on, we've got the Ghostbusters set that features some neat little constructions. The Firehouse headquarters and the Ecto 1 and Ecto 2 sets include cleverly built proton packs. These backpacks are essential for our Ghostbuster heroes and showcase the creativity of Lego designers. Just look at how creatively they put these unique backpacks together for each one of them. But returning to the topic of weapons in unusual places once again, the Snowtrooper Battle Pack's turret legs are made from 3 guns serving as a tripod. And look, if the Snowtroopers ever needed backup, they can always salvage parts from the turret. Now, in the Emperor's Throne Room diorama set, you'll find genius little solutions like the giant round window behind the Emperor. Creating round shapes in Lego is always a challenge, of course, but the designers nailed it using rectangular windows attached to Technic hoses. And hidden under the floor, there's a spot to store Palpatine's Force Lightning, allowing allowing you to recreate any scene from the film. Man, you gotta hand it to the LEGO engineers. The Galaxy Explorer set is perfect for space adventures too. Near the rear, white arrows are cleverly created by slipping tiles into a gap. The airlock door slides back and forth, and extending the landing pad lets the rover drive out on its own adventure. So, LEGO sets are typically analog toys, right? Well, occasionally they do include special features like light bricks, which I think adds a pretty cool touch to LEGO sets, like, you know, the light up bricks or whatever. Well, two versions of Hagrid's hut have a light brick to illuminate the fireplace, giving a cozy glow. And I don't know about you, the light up Legos, they're pretty cool. But the Ninjago Lighthouse Siege and Creator Lighthouse Point sets use light bricks functionality as well, while the massive motorized lighthouse includes multiple lights too. The best use of a light brick though is in the Ultimate Batmobile set. This set includes a Bat Signal sub build with a light brick, allowing you to summon the Caped Crusader anytime you want. And I think that one looks the coolest. I mean, look at that. That's such a cool little detail. Now, take the Shrimp Shack attack from the Hidden Side theme as another example. This set is quite unique though, with the crawfish build featuring two neat surprises. First, its antennae are made using two whip pieces, which would work perfectly here. And second, its feet are actually made from two red minifigure diving fins. Whoever came up with this, honestly, hats off to you. You're a genius. Now, here's another clever piece used in the Fright Train set. While it isn't actually on the train itself, the electric car charging station features a power cable that's just another whip piece once again. This isn't the only time a whip piece has been used to power up a vehicle either. And the tricycle from the Lego Movie 2 uses a whip again for the hose that fuels up the three-wheel menace at the gas pump. There's even a little Easter egg with the Octan sticker and a nod to the go-to gas station in every Lego city, showing that they survived the apocalypse. But wait, there's another style of whip element that can be found in odd places. These coiled whips are actually a bit rarer, originally used in the older Indiana Jones sets, but have started making their way into other themes slowly. In the recent Bouquet of Roses set, Lego introduced a new version of these red whips used to create a perfect center swirl for a few of the flowers. And these same coiled whips, although in black, also appear in the 2021 Winnie the Pooh set, where a single whip is used to create an elaborate holder for a doorbell by the front door, capturing the look of the old cartoon perfectly. And look, while we're in the 100-acre woods, check out another neat construction in this set. It's a small snail made out of cherries and a little dookie piece. It may sound like an odd combination, but Lego makes it work somehow, and it's quite adorable too. Sometimes though, a Lego element pulls double duty. Some parts are used so frequently for something other than their official design that it's hard to imagine that they weren't created for this new role at all. For example, this Wolverine's claw accessories has been used as whiskers on at least 3 separate cat builds. So whenever you look at these cat builds right here, just understand that, you know, their whiskers are Wolverine's claws. Fun fact. But perhaps the greatest use is in the Boost Creative Toolbox set from 2017, which includes instructions on how to build 5 unique machines, including a cat. And the final build may be a bit of a mess, but the wings behind the whiskers add a nice touch of extra fluff to the face. You know what I'm saying? And next, we have more weapons being used in different Lego sets. On the back of the AT-AT set from 2010, revolvers are used once again as extra details, while on the front, a hammer and shovel are part of the forward blasters. It's not just offense weapons though that Lego sneaks in, but also defensive ones, I guess. Now, check out something special in the 3-in-1 Creator Cool convertible set. This 648-piece build from 2008 includes 2 katanas used as windshield wipers. That's actually pretty creative. Wipers have blades and katanas have blades, or katanas are a blade, so yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense, and it looks pretty clean too. But speaking of blades, the Detective's Office set makes a really innovative use of Lego components. Several gray Unikitty tails on the building's roof give the normally gray and blocky rooftop a wonderful rounded appearance. Downstairs though, the ceiling fan over the pool table below is a custom design that uses 4 minifigure snowshoes for the fan blades. Never thought I'd see that though, I'll be honest. The Speed Champions Lotus is also a slick looking set. But the really interesting thing on it is the back. Spoiler alert, it's the spoiler, which is just a green snowboard piece placed upside down. You know, it's a pretty clever design. And of course, we cannot forget the fact that Lego loves using headpieces for their sets. Check out the Orient Express set, which hides a few unexpected pieces. On the engine, there are 2 round blue pieces that look familiar and out of place. These are literally minion heads, but dyed in dark blue. Again, these are minion heads. Yes, minions like this thing right here, but dyed in dark blue, like they're over overalls or their whole body. It might be unsettling at first, but I mean, hey, it works. So the next time I see this set, I'll just be thinking of Minions. But another set that cleverly uses minifigure heads is the Hogwarts Chamber of Secrets. For the first time, these sculptures in this set are actually Pyro Viper heads from the Ninjago series, but now they're in gray and green. It's a cool way to repurpose those pieces for sure, don't you think? But one of the most innovative uses of parts in the Harry Potter set has to be the Hungarian Horntail build. They've used a pair of handcuffs on Harry's broomstick as leg support. I mean, that's pretty genius. The Insect Collection set is also full of unique parts and building techniques. One standout is the egg piece used as a bee, and another unique piece is the sand green revolvers used as legs, a rare color for Lego. The most genius technique in this set is underneath the beetle, where two white croissant pieces represent grubs or larvae. The Mooncake Factory from Lego Monkey Kid is a clever set as well, because it features two rabbits piloting a rabbit-shaped spaceship with an escape craft and a carrot obsession with carrot rockets, carrot satellite dishes, and carrot powered blasters. However, the 2023 NASA Mars rover set might just be the last place you'd ever expect to find fruits or veggies, yet it includes a single white carrot as a part of the sensor array. And this piece has only been seen in 3 other sets, including the Lion Knight's castle. And last but not least, bananas. Lego loves bananas, and traditionally the yellow fruit appears in hundreds of sets in dozens of colors, often as something other than a banana, of course. For example, light gray bananas are used for detailing on the front of a Corvette. Can't look at a Corvette the same now. From a spider trike having 4 wheels to a helicopter that Lego tried turning into a Beyblade, here's some negative 500 IQ Lego sets that will leave you scratching your head. Starting things off with the Lego Starry Night set. This set is a real gem because it does recreate Vincent van Gogh's famous painting with incredible detail. But once you finish building it, you might be left wondering why you've got a ton of leftover 1x4 plates in all sorts of different colors. Although it's not uncommon to end up with a few extra pieces, the sheer number of these plates is unusual, and most extra pieces are just tiny and a safety net in case something goes missing. Lego also usually counts parts by weight, so lighter pieces get extras to prevent issues. But however, in this case, Lego went above and beyond. The mystery deepens because Lego actually included these extra parts as a step in the instructions and even featured them in the official set images. Well, if you look at the set, there are many shades of blue plates: aqua, bright blue, dark azure, earth blue, light royal blue, medium azure, and medium blue. I don't even know what azure means. Anyways, that's a lot of blues, but to prevent confusion over which shade to use, Lego included extras for each and every color. This way, if you accidentally grab the wrong shade earlier in the build, well, you'll have plenty of spares to correct your mistake. And with the Tales of the Space Age set, you'll notice more of Lego's quirky design choices, because in bag number 2, you'll get a bunch of white wand pieces that are used as comet trails. You should have at least one wand left over since these wands come in pairs, but the odd part comes in bag number 3, because here there's a step with a picture of bag number 2 and a single white wand piece despite the wand not being in bag 3 at all. The idea overall is that you use one of the leftovers from bag number 2 to finish off the build. And look, it's a clever way to use extra pieces, but it's definitely not something you see every day and does for sure lower your IQ a bit. And then there's the upscale minifigure set. In step 33, you're instructed to place a 4x4 round brick on top of a turntable piece, which seems pretty straightforward. But here's where it gets weird, because you're also told to insert a Technic axle piece into the hole of the brick. The axle doesn't actually click into place though and remains loose, which makes the next step even stranger. And that's step 34, which involves putting a 2x2 tile over the hole to keep the axle in place. And even when covered, the axle still rattles around. However, this axle isn't entirely pointless because it does reinforce the build, making it more durable, much like how rebar strengthens concrete. Speaking of clever though, the Lego Succulent set has a fun trick as well, because at the end of book 3, you're told to place 2 loose Technic axles underneath the plant and then cover them up. It seems a bit random, but it's actually a smart move. Technic axles are tiny and easy to lose, so they're included as replacements. The set provides plenty of them to ensure you don't run out. But now let's talk about something less practical but still interesting, and that's the Lego Treehouse set. In step 33, you're instructed to place a single crystal in a hole that's gonna be covered up shortly. And to make things even stranger, there is a picture of a minifigure in the instruction booklet winking and holding the same crystal. It's like he's showing off his hidden treasure, and it's a quirky little touch. Now, some Lego sets include hidden printed pieces, but sometimes it's just baffling. For instance, in Bowser's airship from the Super Mario line, you place 2 printed PAL blocks side by side, and a few steps later, one of them is completely covered up by another brick. Why hide a printed piece? It's possible that the Super Mario sets are meant to be highly customizable, customizable, so extra printed pieces are included to let builders create their own levels. That's just speculation though, that's not confirmed. And something very similar to that is found in the 1970 Ferrari set, which has printed 1x1 plates with the Ferrari logo that are also covered up in later steps. Basically, the idea here is to prevent builders from using the wrong pieces too early in the build. By placing the printed plates where they won't be seen, LEGO avoids potential mistakes down the line. And in one set, there are steps with no pieces at all. Step 27 of the Imperial Landing craft set shows an empty blue box. I'm not even joking, check this out, it is an empty blue box, implying no bricks are needed at all. It's the final step of the sub build, so it's a bit pointless, but a similar issue also arises in the Hulkbuster Battle of Wakanda set, where steps 4 and 5 are identical, making step 5 pretty unnecessary. Basically, they duplicated a step. They have it twice for whatever reason. And then there are the instruction booklets that are just poorly designed. For example, the LEGO Bonsai Tree set, and who doesn't love that one, has instructions that are hard to read, like even the official PDF of the instruction booklet. The Sesame Street set and the San Francisco Architecture set also suffer from the dark backgrounds that make the instructions a bit difficult to follow. Even though pretty much all of my devices are in dark mode, this is also almost unbearable. I mean, I literally can't even see what some of this says. And back in the day, LEGO instructions were even worse. I mean, just take a look at the 1989 El Dorado Fortress, for example. One page has 4 steps with no clear instructions, piece counts, or sub-assembly guidance. I mean, it was a real puzzle to build, but then again, it was also 1989, and I think LEGO hasn't even been around for that long. And then listen to this, the 2002 Jack Stone Super Glider set, which is often called the worst LEGO set ever. The glider is just awful, and clearly someone didn't study physics at all. It doesn't support the heavy Jack Stone figure, leading to many frustrating plummets. I mean, does this make sense to you? I don't think so. Now, one of LEGO's most successful themes, and we all know it, is the Star Wars theme, and there's no denying it. However, not every single Star Wars battle set hits the mark. I mean, just take a look at the Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Darth Vader set, based on the showdown in the Kenobi TV series. Released in 2022, this set should have been a slam dunk. I mean, it's fairly new. Instead, though, it's more of a layup that bounces off the rim, rolls around the edge, and then lays in the popcorn of the person sitting courtside right beside you. Because at glance, this set looks like a giant gray slab, which is fitting since the fight takes place on a barren gray field, but it doesn't exactly scream excitement. Some fans have gone so far as to call it the most boring LEGO set ever released, and honestly, it's kind of hard to argue with that. And for $50, you get what is essentially a buildable thick gray base plate. I mean, just talk about a letdown for a LEGO Star Wars set too. I mean, this set currently has one of the lowest ratings on Brickset, barely scraping it with 3 stars. And look, if this set were a Star Wars character, it'd probably be that one background extra who accidentally walks into the camera shot. On the flip side though, we have the Spider Trike vs. Electro set. With only 70 pieces, that's not that many, there's not much to work with, but even then, this set still feels lazy and lacks brain cells. I mean, just fully. There are no real play features and the design is boring. And on top of that, the name itself is a bit inaccurate. Trikes are supposed to have 3 wheels, right? I mean, think of a tricycle, it's 1 wheel in the front, 2 wheels in the back, but this one clearly has 4. I don't know if someone forgot to count or what's going on. It's just like calling a car a unicycle and hoping no one notices. It makes no sense. Now, LEGO's architecture line has been recreating real-world locations in brick form for over 15 years. Some of these sets are stunning, like the San Francisco skyline, but not all architecture sets are winners. The very first architecture set, the Sears Tower from 2008, is a good example of a set that leaves you wanting more. With only 69 pieces and a $20 price tag, it's almost 30 cents per piece, which is about 3 times the normal average for a LEGO set. And what do you get for that price? Well, a bunch of basic black bricks that anyone could probably find in their spare parts bin. Sure, I mean, look, it is a cool souvenir if you do visit the tower, but as a standalone set, it's pretty underwhelming. Similarly, the Burj Khalifa set from 2011, which is based on the tallest building in the world, doesn't quite live up to the expectations. Standing 10 inches tall, the set is mostly made up of just 1x1 round bricks, 112 of them to be exact. It's like LEGO just ran out of ideas halfway through and decided to stack a bunch of cylinders together and just said, yup, this is what we're gonna do. And unlike the real tower, this set is more boring than breathtaking, and its 3-star rating clearly reflects that. For the Marvel fans out there, let's now take a look at the mighty Captain America shield. Conceptually, LEGO has had success with their helmet busts and Thor's hammer, but this? this just feels like a stretch. It's as if someone said, what if we made a giant Lego disc that can't be worn or thrown and just kind of, sits there looking large. Now look, the execution, to be fair, is decent. It does resemble Captain America's shield with its bright colors and nice shape. But let's be honest, it's just a fragile, oversized frisbee that you won't dare chuck at anyone unless you're keen on cleaning up a million shattered pieces. And then we get to the pricing. For several $100s, you get a bunch of basic colored bricks in the shape of a shield. It's like paying premium prices for a designer bucket of red and white Legos. And as for the build experience, well, if you're into repetitive tasks that make you question your life choices, well, I guess this set is for you. It's a monotonous slog of building these same red and white stripes over and over and over again until you're convinced you've been trapped in the Lego themed Groundhog Day. Next up though, we have the Hedwig at 4 privet dive set. Now who doesn't love Harry Potter as much as the next wizard, but this set just isn't it. It's kind of just meh. If meh was a set, it'd be this one. It's essentially a remake of a remake, which begs the question, why does this tiny minimalist Hedwig need to exist at all? It feels like Lego was trying to hit some kind of Hedwig quota and thought, hey, let's make a smaller, less impressive version just to add more Hedwig sets out there. The execution is fine, considering it's just a tiny owl with a tiny chest, but the whole concept just feels unnecessary and frankly a bit dumb. For $20, you get a small, quick, and mindless build that leaves you wondering, why didn't you just buy a chocolate frog instead? The whole thing reeks of minimal effort and a dumb concept if you ask me. Like, just get the better version. Moving on, we have the Batman Killer Croc Sewer Smash. Ah yes, another giant Lego vehicle that's mostly empty space. Just what we all needed for our lovely collections. You might have this big, bulky Batman vehicle that, despite its size, is mostly just air. It's like Lego decided to see how little they could actually build while still calling it a set. Lots of tank pieces, lots of teeth, and lots of treads. But the whole thing feels like a waste of potential. The build experience is a tedious affair of linking together small Technic pieces and adding teeth, oh, and more teeth. And for what? A big, dumb, mostly hollow vehicle that might just be a waste of space? I don't know. It's kind of dumb if you ask me. Now, taking a look at the First Order ATST, it looks kind of underwhelming. Giving fans an incomplete vehicle build and pretending it's a complete set? Well, brilliant idea, right? Yeah, not so much. Because in the movie, BB-8 drives this thing and the top peels off. But Lego, why not just give us the full ATST with a removable top? Instead, we get this half-baked, incomplete version that just feels like a cruel joke. The execution is accurate to the film, sure, but that doesn't make it any less dumb. And then there's the pricing. Charging $40 for an incomplete ATST set is ridiculous, especially when the full versions have been sold for even less. This is shrinkflation at its finest, so I guess the economy's not looking so great. The build experience is as incomplete as the set itself, making this dumb concept an even dumber reality. And the more we lower our IQs, the dumbness reaches new heights with the Lego Star Wars Chewbacca. Take everything we said about Captain America's shield earlier and amplify the issues tenfold, and basically right there you've got Chewbacca. It's a Lego Star Wars figure, but it's not a droid, it's a furry Wookiee. Now, why on earth would you try to replicate fur with bricks? That's just asking for trouble. This Chewbacca looks like something out of a Lego horror movie. It's so bad you almost feel sorry for the designers who had to make it. And then there's the price, $200 for this monstrosity. Who in their right mind would pay that kind of money for something that looks like this? The build itself is probably complex, but at what cost? You're left with a hideous Lego Chewbacca and a gaping hole in your wallet. Look, I'll give credit where credit is due. For replicating fur in Lego form, they didn't do too bad of a job. I guess they did the best job they could for what they can do, but just look at this thing's face, man. It says it all. Now, Lego's Unikitty line brings us to Dr. Fox's Magnifying Machine, a set that promises to be a nifty little microscope toy at first glance. It's a creative idea, no doubt about that. But once you start digging into it, you'll realize soon enough that it's not all it's cracked up to be. For starters, it's on the pricier side and isn't exactly easy to track down these days. And let's be honest, what kind of Lego set doesn't include a minifigure? Can you name me one? Instead, they just throw in a pair of flimsy paper glasses that seem more suited for a costume party than a building session. The set also includes 4 plastic tiles that you're supposed to examine under the microscope, but don't get too excited because they're just tiny prints of basic images. Sure, the idea of of a Lego microscope is intriguing and kind of a good one, but when the most thrilling part of the experience is wearing goofy paper glasses, you might just start to question your financial choices. And also, where's the minifigure? There's no minifigure. Now look, while there might be a handful of die-hard fans who were eagerly awaiting the Powerpuff Girls themed Lego minifigures, it's still confusing as to why the Lego Powerpuff Girls Bubbles Playground Showdown made it into the Lego lineup. For starters, it doesn't include any of the show's iconic villains, which feels like a missed opportunity since Powerpuff Girls are often known for their villain, Mojo Jojo, the monkey, this guy. Plus, it comes almost pre-assembled, which sort of defeats the whole point of Lego, where they just took all the fun away. Sure, it might be trying to recreate a scene from the beloved Cartoon Network series, but then even again, it's an odd choice of a scene to immortalize in plastic bricks. The Powerpuff Girls reboot didn't exactly set the world on fire per se, so this set feels about as necessary as a screen door on a submarine. Moving on though, to mark the turn of a century, Lego unveiled a colossal 2,882 piece model of the Statue of Liberty. And fast forward to 2024, and this set has become a rare gem in the collector's world, with it being nearly impossible to get at all. However, for all its hype, it doesn't even exactly scream Statue of Liberty when you first lay eyes on it. In fact, it looks more like someone tried to recreate Lady Liberty in 8-bit form, which is a lot less detail and a bit of guesswork. Lego has definitely come a long way since then, and their more recent model of the statue is a significant upgrade, actually resembling the real thing. But this 24-year-old set, despite looking like it was designed by someone who has only seen the Statue of Liberty in a dream, remains a highly coveted piece for collectors, I guess purely because of scarcity and because it's hard to find. Despite the name sounding like it could be a DIY Lego tape recorder, this 2009 Lego record and play set was actually a wind-up car with a quirky twist. After building it, users could press a bright red record button on the car's back, trace out a path, and then hit play to watch the car retrace that same route. Kind of a cool idea, right? It's one of those you have to see it to believe it kind of concepts, but apparently not many people did. The product, let's just put it this way, didn't exactly fly off the shelves, likely because Lego's marketing left most people scratching their heads, wondering what on earth even this was supposed to do. Next though, Lego's Mars Mission series was a quirky dive into the world of sci-fi and space exploration, but these kits often took out of this world a bit too literally. The designs were imaginative, sure, but they also left many scratching their heads. The sets included what seemed to be a rocket ship along with a bewildering array of tubes and air pumps that looked more like a plumbing experiment gone wrong than a space adventure. Life on Mars is already a complicated idea as a whole, but Lego somehow managed to make it even more perplexing with this line. It's no wonder these sets didn't exactly skyrocket in popularity. The odd designs might have been a little too alien, get the joke, for average Lego fans. Back in 1987, Lego released their Robot Command Center model. This thing looks like a weird visual trick and leaves you wondering what it's actually supposed to be and what are all those random pieces for. Kids might find a way to make sense of it, I guess, but for the rest of us, it's most likely a head scratcher. Nowadays, if you're into vintage Lego, this set might cost a pretty penny, but look, you're probably better off just forgetting it ever existed. It's not the brightest. Take a look at this though. Remember Jack Stone and his flop glider from earlier? Well, Jack Stone was Lego's big attempt to capture kids' imaginations in the early 2000s with his action-packed adventures. Unfortunately, the enthusiasm for Mr. Stone died pretty quickly and the whole line was dropped not long after. Today, the Jack Stone Bank Breakout set is a bit of a cringeworthy relic from Lego's past. I mean, did Lego really want kids to be getting into bank heists? That wasn't very, smart of them. And they're already super, avoidant of military sets and stuff like that, so I don't understand why they did that. It's kind of like they're contradicting themselves. The Harry Potter universe, though, has been a goldmine for Lego since they snagged the rights in 2001. With impressive sets like the Hogwarts Castle and the Chamber of Secrets, it's been a magical journey for Lego fans. But things took a turn into the bizarre when Goblet of Fire hit the screen, and Lego chose to build the Harry Potter Rescue of the Mere People set based on the rather unsettling Mere People scene. Seriously, who thought a giant squid and a couple of minifigures made for prime Lego material? It's definitely one of the weirder sets, leaving fans for sure scratching their heads about the choice of source material altogether. Now look, I've mentioned Star Wars multiple times in this list already, but that's only because Lego has churned out an astounding number of Star Wars sets over the past years. One of the more continuous ones was Jabba the Hutt's palace, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows what this set is. Modeled after the first act of Return of the Jedi, the set stirred up quite a fuss among some religious groups who thought the palace resembled a mosque a bit too closely. Okay, now that's a bit crazy, but besides that, how many people were really itching to get their hands on the giant Jabba the Hutt minifigure? Definitely not me. Lego's Time Cruiser series was a quirky collection of sci-fi gadgets that could easily fill this list all on their own. However, among the lineup, there was one set that really stood out for its sheer oddity. It's meant to resemble a time-traveling vehicle, but let's be honest, Back to the Future already did that. This contraption looks more like something the Joker might just whip around for fun, not a time machine. New LEGO fans, however, might look at this design and wonder if it's a joke, especially with that baffling propeller. What is that even supposed to do? If we were ever to invent time machines, let's just hope, you know, that they don't look like this. Next, we have the Technic C-3PO set, but it's a bit of a mess, to be honest. If you thought C-3PO looked a bit weird in the movies, well, just check out this version. Instead of his classic gold, he's got a strangely dark and incomplete look, definitely not what you'd expect. This C-3PO has some serious design flaws. I mean, his knees are stiff as a board and his limbs keep falling off, which makes putting him back together a real pain. The one feature that's supposed to be cool is a button that lets you blow up C-3PO, but good luck getting that button to work. With its limited playability and poor reviews, this set is definitely one of the least loved LEGO Star Wars sets. In short, it's a bit of a disaster that even the Force couldn't fix. See the joke I did there? Coming up now is the infamous Fire Helicopter Response set from 2020. This set is a train wreck with terrible reviews on the official LEGO site, making it one of the lowest rated ever. It retailed for $30, but came with just 93 pieces, making the price per piece a shocking 32 cents. For context, that's about 3 times more than usual, like what it usually should be. The set's helicopter was built with an oversized single piece that felt more at home in the Juniors or Duplo set. LEGO tried to be innovative with a feature allowing the helicopter to fly after pulling the ripcord, or at least hover for a moment before plummeting to the ground. And you know what else plummeted? Clearly their IQ and their knowledge on physics, because I don't know why they thought that would work. This set did, however, have a really cool and unique rotor blade design similar to the older Ninjago sets, but it turned out to be too heavy to even actually work. Reviewers complained that the helicopter dropped like a rock, leaving them utterly disappointed. I mean, who doesn't want the helicopter that they're buying to actually, you know, be a helicopter and fly? Why don't we just leave the ripcords for the Beyblades? You know what I'm saying? And last but not least, there is the infamous Knights Kingdom 2 from 2004, which introduced a bunch of poorly designed constructible knights. These figures, which were meant to represent mighty warriors, ended up being a letdown due to flimsy cardboard shields that would be bent and fall off easily. So much for being mighty. From breaking a bunch of LEGO rules to a head that literally won't stay in place, these LEGO sets might just have the most cursed instructions out there. Kicking things off with the 75313 AT-AT. You know how LEGO sets are all about building and also taking apart, right? Well, the 75313 AT-AT breaks that norm in a cheeky way. Some of the pieces in this set fit together so snugly that taking them apart without getting a bit crafty can be quite the challenge. I mean, just look at this thing. Next, though, is the 7190 Millennium Falcon. Let's rewind to 2009, because that's when LEGO introduced these things called Technic frames. They're like versatile building blocks that help make models sturdy and cool looking. But here's the catch, because once you snap one of these bits together, they might not want to come apart without a bit of a tussle. And imagine this scenario. Someone is putting together the 7190 Millennium Falcon set and suddenly realizes that they missed adding a couple of pieces. Oopsie daisy, because now these missing bits show up towards the end of the build, and here's what they're gonna have to do. Flip back through the instruction booklet to track down where those sneaky pieces go, gently take the model apart just a tad like a puzzle midway solve, then fit those missing pieces back in their rightful spots, carefully reassemble the whole thing, keeping their fingers crossed, of course, and of course, add the final touch. Oh, and guess what? They've got photos to show where the instructions went a bit wonky too. The inventory page missed listing those important pieces. Sneaky, right? Qui-Gon Jinn. Remember Qui-Gon Jinn, that LEGO character or Star Wars character? In 2007, he got a style upgrade, and his minifigure had a fresh torso design showing off his brick yellow tunic and a bit of his brown shirt around the neck. And check this out, even his utility belt got a makeover to match the movie's look better. Down to his legs, yep, they match the color theme too. Now, here's the cool tidbit. LEGO switched from yellow to flesh-colored skin for some characters, and Qui-Gon Jinn joined the club. His head and hands got a new shade to match, and his face print didn't change much, except his facial hair got a slightly lighter brown shade. Oh, and in one set, he ditched the usual hair for a reddish-brown hood. A different look for sure. He always carried a cape and a green lightsaber, though the hilt went from shiny silver to a more subtle medium stone gray. There was even a funny mix-up where he actually ended up with Obi-Wan Kenobi's head in one batch of sets, but they quickly fixed that up, and yeah, I was pretty cursed when that happened. 21303 Wall-E. 2015 was all about the buzz around the 21303 Wall-E set. Everyone was talking about it, but not all the chatter was positive. It's a bit of a bummer because the set is super impressive, but it had a design hiccup. You see, Wall-E's neck had 4 joints, which sounds awesome, right? 3 of these joints will let you move his head up and down while the fourth will let you swivel it side to side. But that swivel joint wasn't quite the team player, and it didn't quite have enough friction to hold the head in place. Instead of staying put, it kind of just flopped around, making it harder to strike those epic poses that, you know, we all love to do with our Lego things. So yeah, it's a little bit cursed at times. I mean, if you look at it from like this angle. Steamboat Willie. Fast forward to 2019, and Lego Ideas brought us something exciting, the Steamboat Willie set. Now, if you were sharp-eyed, you might have noticed something funky because it was labeled as set 24 in the Ideas line, which is the exact same number as the Flintstone set, and yeah, whoops, Lego goofed up. They admitted their excitement got the better of them, and they accidentally slapped the wrong number on the Steamboat Willie packaging. It should have been number 25, not number 24, but no worries though, because they fixed it for all the future sets. But if you are a collector who loves those tiny little details, know that the first batch of these sets still carried that little numbering hiccup on the box, so you could always go out and try to find one. 75053 The Ghost. Now, do you remember the set The Ghost? Well, back in its original release, the Canon Jaris minifigure had the wrong hair color. Yup, they did goof up the hair, but fear not though, because they did fix it and made sure that now it sports the accurate hair color that it should have. And guess what? That original incorrect version has now become quite the rarity, meaning it's pretty rare to find and could be worth a lot of money. The Jazz Club set. If you're building this set, don't freak out when you hit the end of the bag 12 and there are no pieces left. Yeah, I'm not joking. They really cursed this one up. Despite Lego's usually strict checks, the occasional error slips through, and in this case, the instructions for the Jazz Club set goofed up a bit. You're supposed to keep building for a couple more steps after bag 12, but you're left empty-handed. Don't worry though, because you're not missing the pieces, because here's the deal. Those steps should have been in the next set of bags. All the pieces you need are in there, so just open the next bags and start building from steps 332 and 333. Oh my god, that could have ended badly. It seems the original plan was to have those steps in the bag 12, but somehow the change didn't make it to the instruction booklet, and that went out with the set on January 1st. Thankfully though, this doesn't mess up the actual building process for this Lego set. But yeah, just try not to get confused when you're like, wait a minute, what's going on? The Republic gunship. Back in 2021, the folks at the Lego group noticed a little hiccup with their first batch of the Republic gunship set box art. Instead of the proper Republic logo, the initial run of the boxes showed the Imperial logo. Like, they literally just did a 180. Now, these logos are pretty similar, so it is a little bit easy to mess up, unless you're not a real Star Wars fan, given the storyline transition from the clone troopers to the stormtroopers in Revenge of the Sith. But if you are a true Star Wars fan at heart, you'll spot the mix-up in a heartbeat. Ivan, I'm not even gonna try to say his last name, the senior marketing manager at Lego, stepped up and spilled the beans to Brick Fanatics and other Lego fan media. He revealed that the team was on it and already working on an update to fix the packaging and instructions for the set. But hold your horses, because these revived sets won't hit the shelves anytime soon, which doesn't really make sense, but we're gonna move on anyway. The Dark Trooper attack. Fast forward now to 2022, and the Lego group once again caught wind of some concerns. This time, it was about the packaging for the Fresh Face 75324 Dark Trooper attack set. The general response to this Mandalorian themed set was quite positive actually, especially considering its wallet-friendly price tag and the awesome inclusion of 3 Dark Troopers and a new Luke Skywalker minifigure. But of course, keen-eyed fans are always on the lookout, and they spotted a small whoopsie on the box art for the new set. Now, despite the initial confusion, the Dark Troopers nestled inside the box are indeed identical to the ones that graced the previous summer's Imperial Light Cruiser set, even though they might not seem that way at first glance. So now you might be wondering if these initial edition boxes for the Dark Trooper attack sets would go on to actually become rare collector's items. So I'm here to tell you that that didn't happen. The Technic Ferrari Daytona SP3. Once again in 2022, the 42143 Technic Ferrari Daytona SP3 hit the scene, but it wasn't all smooth sailing. Racing Brick, who managed to snag an early set for review, noticed a bunch of issues with it. Now, Lego did make some updates to the digital instruction manuals to fix up some of these problems, but not all of them got sorted out. Before you kick off your own building adventure with this set, let me give you the rundown on some of the glaring errors and fixes that might affect your journey, especially if you're relying on the printed instruction manuals that come with the set. On step 88, the initial instructions seem to have missed a crucial panel that would have shown how those 2 orange wave selectors should be positioned before you slide into the green beam. That's a pretty important detail since it directly impacts how the gearbox functions. This step had reviewers scratching their heads too, but worry not, because Lego caught this one and fixed it in the digital instructions. So just go on their website and try to find that. But now on step 104, there's a little oopsie that hasn't been fixed yet by Lego, and in step 104, there's a bit of a mix-up where the wrong element is highlighted. It's like the manual is almost playing a game of spot the difference, but it's not a game we want to play during our builds. And you know how sometimes you end up with extra pieces after completing a build? Well, in this case, there are 2 black fairings that might be longing around. However, though, Racing Brick's review came to the rescue once again, because those fairings should actually be attached to the red axes peeking out at the back of the car near the underside. Mistakes are part of the game, though, we all know that, and even the talented teams behind the sets of the Ferrari Daytona SP3 can slip up from time to time, or even other LEGO sets. From packaging mix-ups with the USC Republic gunship to the Marvel mechs encountering issues earlier that year, 2022 just wasn't exactly LEGO's smoothest run, you know what I mean? Now, let's talk price, because the Technic Ferrari Daytona SP3 set comes in at a whopping $399.99, and it's an official licensed Ferrari product too. And with so many slip-ups and a partially crucial one with the gearbox instructions, it's a bit hard to believe that it's this set with all the problems. Like, it's kind of disappointing. The Liber R 9800 excavator. This time, once again, going back to 2019, the LEGO Technic Liber R 9800 excavator was unleashed onto the scene, boasting an impressive 4,108 pieces. This mammoth Technic set stands tall at over 15 inches, stretching 25 inches in length and extending 10 inches in width. What sets this behemoth apart, though, are its 2 smart control units and even the 7 motors. But don't be fooled, though, because the challenge here lies in making sure every specific component fits precisely to make the excavator function like a well-oiled machine. And of course, brace yourself for an extra layer of complexity, as you'll need to download a mobile app to actually ensure that everything is operating smoothly during the build. It's a little bit cursed, because how many sets do you actually need a mobile app plus the instructions to make sure it works out? It's kind of weird, but I guess it's worth it with this set. Ghostbusters Firehouse Headquarters. For those who prefer the allure of movie-themed sets, the Ghostbusters Firehouse Headquarters might be more your speed. This iconic set, part of the Ghostbusters series, flaunts a staggering 4,634 pieces. Standing at 14 inches in height, 9 inches in width, and 14 inches in depth, this replica packs a punch in its size. But despite its seemingly straightforward appearance, building this set is like solving a puzzle. The challenge, though, it's crafting the intricate segments within the building structure, as you have to work on recreating the various rooms of the Ghostbusters headquarters. Oh, and don't forget the fun task of arranging the array of accessories and spooky elements throughout the building. But yeah, basically, no pun intended, some of the instructions in this set can be a little bit cursed. I mean, as you see. The Tower Bridge. A set with 4,295 pieces might seem enticing, but it does come with its fair share of intricacies. The real challenge here is deciphering the slightly different shades of the beige colored bricks that make up this iconic structure. And it doesn't stop there, because keeping those towers upright and ensuring that the drawbridge mechanism functions smoothly can make you feel like you're managing a real bridge construction project. The Tower Bridge is a testament to the complexity and craftsmanship that goes into these expert level sets, and it can be a little bit hard, I mean, to do this thing. The Lego Harry Potter Hogwarts Castle. Bro, I feel like there's always so many Harry Potter things. For those who like a touch of magic in their builds, there is the Lego Harry Potter Hogwarts Castle. I think it's pretty obvious. This set lets you actually recreate the iconic school's Great Hall, moving staircases, and the classroom themselves. But wait, because there is more. With a staggering 6,020 pieces, this set is a true challenge for even the most seasoned builders. And guess what? Placing the stickers can be quite the test of patience and also precision. However, these little details add personality and character to the school's facade. And upon completion, the Hogwarts Castle stands tall at over 22 inches in height, stretching 27 inches in width, and even extending 16 inches in depth. But yeah, with this thing, it's pretty much just stickers. It's just like a sticker way to hell. That was a terrible joke. Back to the Star Wars Millennium Falcon. Earlier, I mentioned a very specific issue that one person had, but the Millennium Falcon in general is one that's a very cursed build. With 2 versions available, a classic and modern style, this set will keep you busy for more than just the weekend. I mean, I took a month to build like the big UCS, you know, the one that costs $1,000. Anyways, and considering the jaw-dropping 7,541 pieces and a bunch of minifigures, building the Millennium Falcon becomes an audacious journey in itself. The challenge lies in the complex configuration of hidden floor storage and multiple detachable components that need to come together seamlessly. And this is more than just snapping bricks together, because it's a test of your commitment and determination to conquer a galactic build of grand proportions, and to also not mess up, because you can mess up. The Colosseum Lego set. Everybody knows this one. Fancy recreating an ancient wonder? Well, say hello to the Colosseum from the 2020 Lego Expert Creator Series. This colossal structure isn't just about the sheer quantity, it's also about the meticulous placement of every single brick shade to bring the architectural marvel to life. The challenge lies in maintaining the authenticity of the Colosseum's columns while ensuring stability and structure as well. It's like being an architect and a builder all at once. And once completed, this model amphitheater stands over 10.5 inches tall, stretching 20.5 inches in width, and even extending 23.5 inches in depth. But with this set, once again, the struggle and where the curse part comes in is just all the small details. I mean, oh boy, look at this, and this. If you mess it up, good luck. You might just need to buy a new set. The Titanic set. Next up, a grand endeavor that's as impressive as the name say, the LEGO expert creator Titanic. With a jaw-dropping 9,090 parts, this ship isn't just a set, it's also a project that demands dedication. With its high degree of compartmentalization, building the Titanic isn't just for the faint of heart. The complexity is real with this set. I'm not joking. You need to ensure that the propellers and the rudders work just as they should, and brace yourself for a journey that will take over 48 hours to complete. Yeah, this set is no joke, but in the end, you'll have a striking centerpiece measuring 18 inches in height, 17 inches in width, and a whopping 54 inches in length. And just like the Coliseum with this one, you just can't mess up. I mean, and some of the instructions on this set can be very cursed. It's almost like the set where the ship's in the bottle and you just have to flood it with like little pieces. Like if I can put up a picture, I will right here, but yeah, it's a little cuckoo. The world map. I think the most cursed challenge lies in the LEGO Art World Map. Released in 2021 with a staggering 11,695 pieces, this is not just building. It's a masterclass in color differentiation and subtle shades. This set definitely demands a keen eye for detail and a knack for deciphering nuances. And as you place each piece and each individual brick, you're essentially mapping out your visual travel bucket list. And the world map is definitely a work of art that will most certainly leave you scratching your head more often than not. The Tower Bridge 10214. Now this one with a whopping 4,295 pieces, this LEGO creator expert model is a tribute to the iconic London landmark. I feel like everybody knows what this is, but let's be real, this ain't your average weekend project. This build is all about the finessing because you're gonna find yourself wrestling with tiny pieces to just create those subtle suspensions that keep the bridge standing tall. And those spires on the bastions, well, attach them just right or risk the height of imbalance throwing off the whole vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's been charming folks along the River Thames since 1894, and bringing this magic to life requires some advanced building wizardry. The real test of your skills though does come down with the functional drawbridge, and that's where the set is cursed with the instructions. Because yeah, you heard that right. It opens up just like the real Tower Bridge to let ships pass through. Like what else would it be for? Plus, there are some rare bricks in this mix that might just have you scratching your head unless you've got your trusty building instruction booklet by your side. In those 4 adorable miniature vehicles, the red London double-decker bus, the green car, yellow truck, and black taxi, they're not just for show, because you're gonna need some skills to make sure that everything stays steady, because nobody wants a wobbly tower bridge, right? LEGO creator expert 10261 roller coaster. When it comes to tackling the LEGO creator expert roller coaster set, many folks find themselves facing a mix of excitement and also a little bit of fear. And it's not because the set lacks appeal, quite the contrary actually. It's because of the colossal size. I mean, this thing is absolutely massive and it hasn't changed. And unpacking the roller coaster reveals a total of 11 sets of bags. The building process is also divided into 2 halves, with bags 1 through 5 forming the first half and bags 6 through 11 handling the second. Each half comes with its own instruction booklet too, which is a pain on its own. And anyone that's built a set with multiple instruction booklets, you know dang well what I'm talking about. Instead of unique printed bricks too, there's also a collection of over a dozen stickers used in various signs around the amusement park. It's a bit of a bummer, but by now, most LEGO enthusiasts have come to expect this sticker situation in many sets. The major hiccup though is that the instructions can be a bit of a head scratcher at moments. With nearly 24 white pillars protruding from the base, distinguishing one from another can be tricky at times. I mean, just look at this image. That's pretty confusing to me, dog. The milling machine. You've got this LEGO artist named Arthur Sakek who went all out and put together the 360 milling machine using mainly LEGO bricks. Now, brace yourself because this contraption is like a 3D object factory. It takes instructions from a computer and turns them into real-life objects. And guess what? The majority of this machine is pure LEGO goodness, except for one small part, obviously the metal drill. And everything else, well, yep, you've guessed it. It's all LEGO. And it's probably a little bit cursed with how it operates. I mean, I wouldn't want to try and build it. Endor. Okay, let's talk about Star Wars and LEGO once again. These two have had some serious bromance going on for a while now. I think everybody knows that. But from sets to video games, they've teamed up to bring the Star Wars universe to life in the LEGO brick form. And guess what? They've tackled Endor too. You know that iconic Star Wars location? Well, it's cool to see that fans take a swing at creating Endor in LEGO style. And you know what's fun? Fans don't have to worry about the same commercial stuff that official toy makers do. They could just let their creativity run wild, especially when it's something as colossal as Star Wars. But now you're probably wondering, well, how does this have cursed instructions? I'm not too sure. The Bengal tiger. We're not stopping yet because there is a captivating Bengal tiger sculpture that's just jaw-dropping. Someone with some serious LEGO skills took the vibrant hues of the orange and merged them with the blacks and whites to create this stunning masterpiece. And guess what? It's giving off some major Jungle Book vibes. I mean, you can just look at this thing and this thing, you can practically hear the wildlife. And heck, I mean, there's even a sparkle of Aladdin's pet tiger in there. But all right, since I know you're wondering, if you look at the actual miniature miniature version of this Bengal tiger Lego set, you're gonna find some cursed images because what the heck is that? The Lego Skull motorbike. Brace yourself for this one because this Lego set is a time capsule from 2011, the OG days of the Ninjago sets. But guess what once again, because they've sprinkled a whole load of incorrect artwork from that era all over it. Picture this, the Skull motorbike, the iconic ride, but with some major artistic mishaps. Check out these images and you'll spot things that are just way off. In one of the main product images, they literally just slapped on Fracjaw's armor piece with those fiery red spikes on the sides for the top of a minifigure here. But guess what once again, because that's not what you actually get in the set. The right armor should have been those gray ones, but someone decided to jazz it up with some wrong pieces too. Just awesome. And guess what once again, because this trend just keeps on going. It's like they put this set through an artwork blender and just let it go wild. The icing on the cake, well, one particular image really gets under my skin because they flipped Chopov, the bony dude, the wrong way. His torso's facing the wrong direction and his armor is all over the place. Even the bottom part with his printing is flipped like it's trying to play mirror games. Like, come on, bro, seriously? Now, if you're rolling your eyes just a bit, well, just take a peek at any of the instruction manuals from 2011. You know, the golden age of Ninjago, you know, when everyone wanted the gold Leloid figure, and you know what I'm talking about. You'll spot this set making its appearances there, and guess what? It's got wrong artwork everywhere, even back then. Lego table. So, there's this architectural design firm, ABGC, chilling in Dublin, and they scored a gig to revamp the digs of an up-and-coming agency. And guess what? Among the recommendations, there's this mind-blowing boardroom table on the menu. We're talking about a whopping 4x9 feet of Lego extravaganza. This beast demanded a jaw-dropping 22,740 Lego bricks, and get this, they didn't even use any cheat codes. No glue, no nothing, just nothing. The coolest part too, well, the crew rolled up with their sleeves and built it themselves, so no fancy master builders or contractors involved at all. The client wanted playful but not juvenile, and trust me, this table hits that sweet spot. I could only imagine how cursed it was trying to get this thing to look the way it does. Lego USS Missouri. Next, anyways, which Lego set did you find the most cursed to build, and which instructions just like got you saying, yeah, nah? Let me know in the comments, and of course, subscribe!